Hi guys, it's Taiba Chino here again. It is me, your coach. Welcome back again to my space, guys. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how to draft this dress synthetic fit what to Miss P or Mrs. P traditional wedding. So the first thing you're going to do is get your pattern paper. First thing first, I would like to apologize to you guys because I'll be using pencil, and I so much hope and pray you guys see what I'll be doing today because I couldn't get a white paper. And as for the last video I uploaded, I'm going to be dropping a video tutorial on how to make it. In fact, we are already on the process of making that, just that I've been a little bit busy. That is why we've not been able to drop the video yet, but this video will come before that video, and I promise you guys the video will come immediately after this tutorial we're about to make. Then after that video, the how to make this dress will come immediately after the other video. I hope you guys understand. Let's drive straight to today's video. So the first thing you need to do is to fold your fabrics into two, just like I did right now. Fold it into two. We already know what we wanted, but let's, for the sake of those that do not know, we'll be cutting a base for this, like from the beginning. This is a bustier corset pattern. So the first thing you need to do is to get your bust point. Then you go ahead and get your underbust. My underbust is about 14 inches. Then you go ahead and get your waistline, which is about 18.5. Then my top length, my corset length is about 22 inches. So after that, I'll go ahead and map out my starting point. I'll just try as much as I can because our table is very small to only shift my book like this. So this will be our starting point. Please, you need to be very careful and always measure all of this on your client. Do not and never do the guesswork when it comes to this pattern. Don't ever do guesswork for your clients. Always measure your client BP, UB, waistline, WN, then full length. So the next thing you need to do is to come up here and get your shoulder measurement. You need to come up and get your shoulder measurement. My shoulder is about 8 inches. I so much hope you guys can see. My shoulder is about 8 inches. I'll go ahead and mark 8 inches, then add extra to 1.5 inches. The reason is because of our that. Go ahead and mark extra 8.5 and 1.5 inches rather. I'll come here and mark 8 inches. This will be our chest line, which is where we are going to get our armhole curve from. Go ahead and mark 8.5 inches. So do that. So the next thing you're going to be doing is come here and take our neckline, our neck, which is about 3 inches. 3 inches. Then you come down by 3 inches for your neck round. I am a freehand fashion designer. I really do not use curve rule. Okay, so you can use your curve rule right here to get your neck, but as for me, I am not going to do that. So I'm just going to come up by 1 inch like this. So I'll just go ahead and to get my neck curve like this. You can as well use your curve rule right now, but I use my free hand. So this is what we have for the front pattern. So then we will now come down to the basic body. If you follow my basic body pattern last week, you should know all of this, how to get a basic, but this is your basic body pattern for any dress at all. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to come here and get our dart measurement. So for this, my dart is 4.5 inches. I'll go ahead and mark 4.5 all the way down from my chest point all the way down to my full length, my corset length. I'll go ahead and mark 4.5. I so much hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing. I really don't know why my camera keeps shaking. I so much hope you guys understand. So this is it. So you're going to come here. You're going to get our bust point right now, our bust rather. So we have right here, we have 10 inches, which is very much okay for our bust. 10 inches. Please, anything you are doing, you need to add extra 3 inches allowance. I'm trying to manage this paper because of the other bust at the other part at the upper part. So please add extra 3 inches allowance. But I'm managing this paper. I am going to add the 3 inches allowance when I am drafting this out on my outfit. Add the extra 1 inches allowance. So but for this tutorial, I'm adding 2 inches because of my paper. I was not going to like coach you guys. I'm not going to open up that front part. I would have cut with one side like this so that my paper will be enough, but because we want to manage everything, that's why we are cutting it like this. So after that, my waist is 8.5, 34 inches divided by 4, 8.5. I'll go ahead and mark my 8.5. Okay, this is my underbust. This is my waistline. I'll go ahead and mark my 8.5 inches. Then add extra 3 inches allowance. Okay, this is up to 3 inches. I'll add extra 3 inches allowance. So this is my full length. It's always 10, 40, 41, 42, that range. This is my round. So I hope you guys understand. So I'll go ahead and mark 10. Then still add extra 3 inches allowance. In fact, you can add 4 inches allowance depending on how curvy the person is. So I'll just go ahead and mark my 3 inches allowance full right here. So after that, this is what we have. Your underbust also, maybe you must measure the underbust. So let's say my underbust is 32 inches, about 8 inches, right? So 8 inches plus 3 inches allowance. So plus 3 inches allowance. So that is that. So after that, I'll just go ahead and connect this line to this line, then to my full length line. You guys should just take note of how I am doing all of this. So this is what we have. This is what we have right now. So I'll come up by 1 inch right here at this edge. I'll come up by 1 inch. Then I'll come down by half an inch right here. So I'll just go ahead. I'll come up by 1 inch right here, this edge. Then I'll come down by half an inch right here, the full length. Mark at half an inch. I'll go ahead and connect this to this, then come up just like I'm doing right now on your screen to this. So let's go ahead and cut out that pattern first. So that is all. So after that, I'll connect my dart. Remember, we already took 4.5 inches from here all the way to our full length. So I'll just go ahead and connect all of that. Always make sure that your lines are very accurate. So after that, this is what we have. This is what you should have when you are done. So I'll just also go ahead and remember, this was our shoulder measurement, which is about 8 inches, right? So after taking 3 inches, you'll be left with how many inches? That's about 5 inches, right? So that 5 inches divided by 2 is about 2.25 inches. Okay, So because of we already adjusted here and all of that, take everything in full. So what we have left is 6.5. I'll just go ahead and divide the 6.5 into 2. It's about 3.25 inches, which is somewhere around here. So I'll just go ahead and mark out that part, then connect this part now to my bust point. Remember, this is your chest line. Connect it to my bust point here. So when you are done, this is what you should have. Everything you're supposed to have should look like this. If it's not looking like this, then I don't know what you are doing. So after all of that, then we'll come back again and get our armhole curve. We already took 8 inches. We are going to draw this line, connect this line to this other part rather. Just go ahead and connect the line. Please always make sure your ruler, your curve rule, anything you're using is straight. So after that, we are going to go ahead and divide here. Come down by half an inch right here, because our shoulder is slanted, so we need to also give it that slanty look. You guys should just pardon me, I have a very small space. I'm working with a very small space here, so I'll just go ahead and do that. So this is what you should have when you are done with your basic body, your everything. This is what you should have. So after we are done with that part, I'll just, you remember we took 8 inches from here, so we just go ahead and divide here into 2, which is about 4 inches. And if you feel like, then you go ahead and mark the 4 inches. If you feel like the armhole is now a bit small for your client, you can always come down by 1 inch to complete it 8 inches back, or better still, you leave it like that. We've always been coming back to take 1 inch down here, but let's just leave it like this for today and see if it is going to enter us. So after that, I'll just come here that I marked 4 inches and also mark half an inch. So the next I'm going to do is to connect this line to this line, then come out like this to this, then this. You can also make use of your curve rule if you cannot use your free hand. So after that, I'll just go ahead and do the same thing, just like this. In fact, I will advise you use your curve rule, except you are using with your free hand, then you can work with it like that. So after that, this is what you should have. So after all of this, we are going to come back and start taking our dart measurement. That is this is why I told you to take 3 inches in. In fact, you can take 4 inches depending on what you're making and the size of the person you're making for. You can go with 4 inches, you can go with 3 inches. So remember, we took 2 inches. The reason is because we are working with a smaller paper and a pattern paper, and I told you all that I am definitely going to add these 3 inches back to my fabric when I'm cutting it on my fabric, when I'm on my fabric. You guys should always watch my video. If you have been watching my video, you will notice that I'm always taking 3 inches. So if you watch my video up to this time and you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel before we continue this video. I know you will never disobey me, so thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for joining this family. I coach and teach everything about fashion designing. So let's go forward. So the next thing we are going to do is, after getting all of this, the next thing we are going to do is take our dart measurements. Please, anything you are doing, don't touch it. If you notice, this place kind of come like this to the bust point. So do not touch your chest line. This is out of bound. Don't even touch it. You have no business with it, so that you not mistakenly put your bust point in your chest line. You can never be balanced. If you do that, if you do so, you can never be balanced. So, and anything you are going to do right now, the dart measurements, you are not to touch your chest point and your bust point also. Don't touch here, don't touch here. Anything you are going to do right now is going to be here, from your under bust, your waistline to your full length, and the same thing applies to this side, then all the way down. So the next thing you're going to do is take 1.5 inches. You can as well take 2 inches, but let's work with 1.5 inches for today. The time we worked with 1 inch, but today we are working with 1.5. There are sometimes you also use 2 inches depending on what you are doing. So after that, I'll come in by 1.5 inches also right here. In fact, I will always, if you are working with 1.5 inches, please and please always take 3 inches dart, 4 inches dart, so that the remaining 1 inch will be for your, remember you've cut out everything here for your dart, the 3 inches. So always work with 4 inches, 5 inches if possible. So after that, you go ahead and connect here to this place, to this place, then to this place. The same thing, connect it to this place, to this place, and to this place. Now it is high time you make use of your curve row. It is high time you make use of your curve row if you have one, and if you do not have one, you can as well take the clothes like this or anything you're working with, so you can get the actual curve. So you're definitely going to start from here. Then you can also use your straight ruler at this point if you so wish, but I'm a freehand fashion designer and I prefer to use my freehand. So I've done this other part. The next thing now is to connect this all the way down. So this is when my ruler comes in. I'll just go ahead and connect that straight line all the way down. The same thing happens to this side. Connect here, connect here. So the next thing I'm going to do is also find my way and connect here to this part. If you are good at using freehand, you can as well use your freehand. But if you are not good at using freehand, please, I advise you go and get your curve row. It will really help you. So this is what we have right now as we're done with all of that. So I'll just come up here and take 1 inch. Remember we added extra 1.5 inches. It's too much, so I'll just come right here and take 1 inch, just as I just did right now. Then make sure I connect this point to the 1 inch. You guys should just focus more on my on my sketching and all of that. You guys will definitely understand what I'm doing when you are focused. Okay, so this is what we have. So take notes, please. We are definitely going to cut out this part, then cut out this part. So this is what you should have by now. This is what you should have. So the next thing we are going to do, so now this is the main basic body that we are to work with to get or to achieve that pattern. So now it all depends on you. If you want your cleavage to be exposed, this is when you decide your fate of everything. So if you want it to be covered, this is also when you're going to decide the fate of your cleavage, whether you want it exposed or you want it covered. So the next step is you're going to come out, and if our advice, if you're working with someone that is very, very busty, our advice you use 6 inches for the person's depth. Then it depends. Then if the person's now said, oh, I want it very open, then you can go ahead and take the measurements on the person's body, so it will not, you will not have to like argue with any clients when they comes for fitting that, oh, my body is too exposed and all of that. Then if you're working with a smaller person, bust person, then I advise you go with 7 inches or 8, because reason is because their cleavage is kind of hidden. I hope you guys understand, because they're not busty. It's not that full like someone that is busty. So now for myself, I prefer working with 6 inches in all my patterns. I always use 6 inches. So because this kind of enter inside, I'll go with 7 inches. So we are working with 2 measurements right here, 6 and 7. So I marked 6 here. This is 6 inches, 6, and this is 7, and this is 8. Don't forget, this is 10, my bust point. So after that, I'll also come here and mark out 5 inches. Remember, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 10. Then I'll come here and marked 5 inches. Now after that, I'll go ahead and connect this line, this 7 inches to this line. I hope you guys understand me. This is how you keep it. It's slanted. This is how you keep it. So now, by now, this is what you should have. as you are done drafting and all of that, this is what you should have. I'm very sure this is definitely going to expose my bust, because this is the last time I used 7 inches for my bust. It is very, my bust was very exposed, but no no problem. I'm going to sew a kind of this mesh inner inside, so I have nothing to worry about. So after all of that, then you come down here, you come here from the starting point and mark 2 inches. Sorry, you mark 1 inch. You go ahead and mark 1.5 inches. Then you go ahead and mark another 1.5 inches. Then you go ahead and mark another 1.5 inches. Then you go ahead and mark another 1.5 inches. Then you also mark another one. You don't need to mark another 1.5 inches. The next one is already on the armhole. So I'll just go ahead and curve this like this. I'll go in a little bit. This is when your creative mind comes in. You go in a little bit, then I'll come out. I will also pass the 1.5 inches a little bit, like an ½ inch or so. Yes, an ½ inch. I'll also come out, also go in. Okay, let's say you go in by ½ inch, you pass your sketch by ½ inch also. Okay, I so much hope you guys are understanding what I am doing right here. To come out, you also go in, you come out, then final on the armhole. Please, it all depends on how you want it. 1 2 3 4 5. If you want it to not be this plenty, this is very full, then you can also go ahead and take your 2.5 inches like this, 2 3 4, so like, and so on and so forth. So this is all what we have after we are done with our whole marking. Just want it to be a little bit deep. I honestly hope you guys understand what I am doing, to be honest. So that is it. 1 2 3 4 5. So when we open it up, it will be 10 inches. This is main reason why I refuse to cut out my pattern paper, and I refuse to use a single the way I used to do. I'm going to use a single piece. This is the reason why I use double. So after all of that, let's cut out all this stuff, then we'll come back again and check what we have. This is what we have right now. So I'll just go ahead and cut out all of this also. Making the dress. So after everything, this is what we have. I wish I have a seal tape so that I can seal it for you all to see what we have. So this is what we have after all the whole cut. And I feel like this is a bit very full. It's very full. You can as well reduce yours to maybe 6, maybe cut it into 3, cut this pattern stuff into 3. That's when you open it up to be 6. So this is for the front piece, which is the first part. Bringing in our second part. So now for the back, for this other part, I had to pause the video to go check what we are working with, and I noticed the designer did the front design, did 6 pieces, like 6 for this front design. She did only 6. So what you are going to do is, the more we draw like that, you're just going to expand yours just like I did the sample right now, then fold it into 2 like this. You're going to fold into 2 like this. You're going to make sure you are using 3. Let's see if you can correct that. let's see if you can correct that, because I already saw it, and when I'm making it, I'm going to reduce everything I did right here, which is this. Definitely I'm going to use 6 inches, 6, just the way she did. She used 6 in her making. So yes, that's what I'm going to do. So you're just going to like do yours like this, you know. We've cut out like 1 or 2 or so. The same thing, join to this one, that's 2. Then the next one, 3. That's what we are going to do. So I'm not going to do it here, because I'm going to scatter everything I've just done. So I'll just go ahead and use it like that. But when I want to cut out my fabric, I'll just take this out of my fabric. Let's say this is my fabric I want to cut out. After using this to pattern out my fabric, I'll just take it out. Then we sketch like this on my fabric, just like I just did right now. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So the next thing we are going to do is that front part. So that is the real thing. That's where the work is, for that front part. That is the work. So I've already folded my fabric into 2 also. So the first thing we are going to do is also use this to draft out the front. Please, you guys notice that it's not up. So please, anything you are going to do, make sure this one and the down part are equal in length and in width. So I'm going to do this, then come right here and also do this. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. So the first thing I am going to do is, okay, let me just use my ruler, my scissors. The first thing I am going to do is come here and take 6 inches. Take 6 inches measurement. Taking 6 inches measurement, we've already divided everything into 2. We've already divided everything into 2. So I'll go ahead and take 6 inches. I'll just go ahead and lift my paper and mark 6 inches on my actual fabric. So after the first thing is just to use this to cut out my body also right here. So that's the first thing you should do. So after that, you're going to, you know, it's kind of come down like a funnel kind of shape. So after that, measuring 4, you're going to come down here and measure 3 inches. Measure 3 inches. Anyway, you're going to come down here and measure 3 inches. This is the length. Measure 6 inches here, then measure 3 inches here. I'll just go ahead and connect it. Then this is what you should have when you are done connecting. So after that, we're just going to go ahead and place this like this. I am very sure that you guys will not understand. We can also do fabric placement on this when we are making it, but I'm just trying to like share light on this. So use that like this. This is when your creative mind comes in. Please, you guys should, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to do right here. So this is what you should have like this. So when we are making, it's going to like puff up like this. I'm just going to share light more about this when we are making the dress. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video. Till then, stay cool, stay blessed. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, because I teach and coach everything about fashion designing. I bring fashion designing to your fingertips. So see you guys in my next post. Till then, stay cool, stay blessed. Bye bye.